Welcome to the My Inner Tiger podcast. I'm your host, Sydney D. Camella. I'm also a wife, mother, master life coach, course creator, and spiritual Sherpa. Over the past few years, I have overcome extreme anxiety, depression, addiction, infertility, and chronic illness. And as a result, I've made it my life's mission to teach other women like you that no matter what battle you're up against, you have an inner tiger, a power within to create and manifest whatever your heart desires. If you are tired of being a victim and ready to be boss of your life, you have come to the right place. Each episode, I'm going to share tools, teachings, and techniques I have used and taught countless other women so that together we can create a life beyond our wildest dreams. I know beyond a shadow of a doubt that your inner tiger is just waiting to be unleashed. I'm so happy you've tuned in. Let's get started. Hello, and welcome back to the My Inner Tiger podcast. I am super excited about today's episode. I have one of my best friends, Sarah Armstrong, with us today. And Sarah and I met in coaching school. So we both became life coaches at the same time, and it was like an instant connection. And since then, we talk almost every single day. I mean, really every single day. And we just got back from a vacation together, and we are definitely soul sisters. So the reason I really wanted to bring her on this episode is because Sarah is who I would consider to be a vision queen. And vision is such a huge part of the healing process for anyone. And it's such a huge part of manifesting anything that you want to bring into your life. And so Sarah has created an entire company called Vision of You. She also has Idea of You, but I'll let her talk more about that in a second. But she's created this company called Vision of You, where she really leads people through how to create a vision for their future and for their lives, which will ultimately guide you toward manifesting all of your dreams and everything that you want to bring in your life. So I have been through her vision board workshop. I did it when I was early in my healing journey. And I can tell you right now, I'm looking at my vision board that I created in that workshop, and almost every single thing on that board has come true. And it's just so funny to me, the power of how that works. I have other things hanging up in walls in my office that I'm looking at right now, actually 3 different other things that I'm going to talk about later that I have also manifested into my life, all 3 of these things. And so it's just so huge and so powerful and deserves a lot of attention. So I want to introduce Sarah Armstrong. And so Sarah, if you could tell us a little bit about your background, how you came into working with vision, and I'll let you take it from here.
Thank you so much, Sydney. I am just thrilled to be invited onto your podcast. This is a vision come true for me for sure. And I'm going to come back to that. So hi, everyone. I'm Sarah. I am Sydney's tried and true soul sister. When she says we had an instant connection, I mean, it was instantaneous. Just incredible. So I'm just so proud of her and everything that she has accomplished and built and healed and created. I could go on and on. But that's not what we're here for, right? So, Sydney, thanks again for having me. I am Sarah Armstrong. I am what I consider to be a vision transformation architect. A lot of people do refer to me as the vision queen. And I'll tell you a little bit about how I got there. So, like Sydney said, we met in coaching school, which was back in 2018. So when we went through that, and a few years prior to that, I was in a thriving sales career in the medical diagnostics industry. And one thing that I realized, a few years prior to that coaching school was I needed to create impact on a deeper level. What I was doing, the testing I was selling was extremely important. I was in prenatal genetics. I was in mental health. I was bringing, all kinds of great information and insight to doctors to help, heal their patients. But I leveraged this. I could always see my success. I could always see myself as being successful. And What I realized though in that was, although I was thriving in my career, there was something was still missing. And after doing a lot of my own soul searching, a lot of my own work, I realized that I was called to create an impact on a deeper level, and I heeded the call. I didn't know what it was. I didn't really know exactly what it looked like, but I just started taking steps forward, which ultimately ended up with me being like, I'm going to fast forward into the coaching program with Sydney. And even when I went through that, I knew what I wanted my life to look like. And one of the things that was really powerful for us when we started in coaching school was, I think one of the first days of the program, we created a 5-year vision, and I wrote out all these amazing things of what I wanted to experience. And every single one of those started like coming true. And so this was a 5-year vision, but it actually started happening closer to more of like a year. So vision has always been something, that's very, very powerful for me. And as I was coming out of coaching school and starting my own coaching practice, Idea of You Coaching, I wanted to support other men and other women that, had made it, I had made it right in my career. But I knew there was more for me to do. So I wanted to support them to step into that. And so I started Idea of You Coaching. And one of the pivotal pieces of my coaching practice on how I was, introducing myself to clients became through a vision workshop. That I facilitated. And so I started doing these vision workshops, and it became extremely impactful because the unique way that I do that I walk you through this process is you can come to this not having a clue what it is that you want to create. But when you leave this workshop, when you leave the time with me, when you leave this experience, you're crystal clear. It becomes crystal clear. And so I think we'll get into a little bit more of this as we talk today, Sydney, but that's kind of like really where I've been, where I've come from. And I've really put everything, my heart and soul into what I started out as Idea of You Coaching, but what it's actually morphed into is becoming more of a focus on vision of you, because everything starts with a vision. And I believe that my mission and my purpose here on this planet is to truly awaken the world through the power of vision.
Oh my God, beautiful. So beautifully said, my friend.
Thank you.
You are so spot on that everything starts with a vision. And very early on in my healing journey, I recognized that, and I really started focusing on what it would look like when I was healed, what I would be doing, how I would be acting. What does that feel like? Who would I be when that occurs, right? And when I would do lots of my meditations, I would spend so much time just visualizing my future self, my future me. And it's so funny. I have this exact visualization picture like that I go back to every time. It's like me, I'm in some cabin. I don't know where how long ago this originated, but I always go back to it. It's future me in a cabin with this like navy blue blazer and a white shirt underneath, and like these jeans, and my hair is like, a little shorter than it is now, and it's a little darker than it is now, but I'm like just so together. I'm so healed. I'm so happy. And like, it's almost like I just got done speaking in an event. Like that's like the vibe, right? And I could just see it so perfectly. And it's right before Sarah and I started recording this call. I recently signed up for Stitch Fix, okay, because I really need to upgrade my wardrobe. I'm quite aware. And so I just got my second shipment in, and lo and behold, the exact blazer that I am wearing in my vision board came in this stitch, or not in my vision board, but in this vision of me that I always go back to, is this exact blazer. It's the exact thing, and a white shirt to go underneath it. You guys, crazy. So I'm just telling you that this vision, the power of vision, and when you set your intention, you get really crystal clear on what it is that you want to bring into your life and what you want to manifest. It will come to you. I am living proof of this. I promise you that it works. And it's just So fascinating. So that's just one
Uh,
small piece of, one small little piece of my passion for vision, right?
well, I got to jump in on that too, Sydney, because you mentioned when we first started that we just got back from vacation together and we were at a cabin in the woods, holding our own personal private retreat. And I think you just foreshadowed a future of the two of us partnering on a retreat where
Nice.
we're going to co-create that. So there is no doubt in my mind that, our future selves are going to be together in some capacity, holding some type of a retreat in a cabin in the woods. So stay tuned for that.
Oh my God, absolutely. Here's the evidence. So here we go. Um, so Sarah, there's this story, and I just love this story when I heard you talk about it one time in one of your workshops, and it's about the swimmer. And before I forget to ask you to tell this story, if you could it's such a great, beautiful example of the power of vision and how much it affects your success and in manifesting whatever you are going for in your life. So, if you could tell the story about the swimmer, please just take it away.
Yeah. So the swimmer, the famous swimmer, her name is Florence Chadwick. She was born in 1918 and passed in 1995. Um, and in the 1950s, so Florence Chadwick, I mean, think about this, right? Like she was born in 1918. So she was from the age of 6, like all in, 120% all in on swimming. Her story is incredible. You're going to have to Google her because I could tell you the whole thing, but that'd be the whole podcast. But then the nitty gritty to what Sydney is alluding to, and this is what I share a lot of times, in my workshops and my speaking, is she just has this incredible story. So she was one of the few women that swam the English Channel, both like to France and back. And that is an incredible story in and of itself. But what I really find from Florence as just such an incredible story is her swim from Catalina Island to the California coast. And so in 1952, so Florence is basically like, masterful swimmer, but in swim the English Channel and then comes home and is like, you know what? I think I want to swim from Catalina Island to the California coast, right? So, okay. So this is 21 miles of open water and it's shark infested, it's cold, it's foggy, like all the, right? Like there's all the things. So on July 4th of 1952, the water's cold, there's dense fog, there's sharks. She's swimming alongside her team, right? Like they're in a boat and she's swimming alongside the boat. Like the boat is literally they're firing off gunshots to get the sharks to stay away from her. Like this is insane. So she's July 4th, 1952. Like I said, the water's cold, it's dense fog, it's just sharks. She was in the water for 15 hours and she said, "Pull me out. I can't make it. I'm done. Get me out." Like I call it. I can't go any further. And she gets out of the water and she gets in the boat and she finds out she's only like 2, maybe 3 miles from the shore. She was right there. She was so close. She was so close. And so fast forward a couple months, she attempts the swim again in September of 1952. Exact same conditions. The water's freezing cold. There's dense fogs. Again, her team's like fighting off sharks, like firing off gunshots to keep the sharks away from her. She can't see the shoreline. She can't see anything in front of her. But in September of 1952, she finished the swim in less than 15 hours. She finished the 21-mile swim in under 13 hours. Now, the first time she quit after 15, she was only a couple of miles from the shore. And so everybody's like, "Florence, what's the difference? Like, what happened? How come you weren't able to do this back in July, but now it's September and you did it in less time with the same conditions?" And her response, it's just like gives me chills. Her response is, "I just kept visioning the shoreline. Every time I wanted to quit, I kept envisioning myself reaching that shoreline, my toes in the sand. I envisioned what the coast looked like. I envisioned myself getting out of the water, being surrounded by my team. I just kept my focus on the shoreline. And that is what, not only did she finish it, but she finished it in less time. Like, such amazing success for her. And I love this quote from Florence as well. And she says, many people quit a dream on the brink of its realization. It's when the challenges feel most daunting that we're often closer to our destination than we feel ourselves should be. And that's when we give up, is we're often just, 2 miles from the shore, when if we would just keep going, we'd make it. And I think that that is such a beautiful story that really illustrates the power of vision, because when she went after it that second time, I mean, this is a woman, like, she could have done it easily. Like, she swam the English Channel, for God's sake, with like shipping barges, like dodging her and all that other stuff, like her dodging them, really, because they're so massive. But she had to have that focus. She had to have that vision. She had to like see it, smell it, feel it, like live it into being. And when she did that and she followed through on the action steps to make it happen, she reached her goals in record time.
Yes. Love that story. It's so perfect and so true. And
Mm-hmm.
it's really so true. I mean, I listen to podcast after book after YouTube video, whatever. I listen to any and everything that comes my way, honestly, when it comes to healing and motivational speaking and, starting a business and being successful, like all that, all that stuff. And what everyone always says, same pattern, is people give up right before they hit it, like right before they're about to hit that breaking point, right before they're about to hit their dream and their goal. They quit right before because they think they can't do it. And so I just think that piece of the vision is so important to getting you past that last little bit. Like, if you can sit there and if you can put your vision on that board, put it right in front of you, and you look at it every single day. You don't have to obsess over it every single day. Like, I don't look at my vision board every single day, but if you just know that it's in your future, you put it up there, you declare it, you know that what you're asking for and what you want and what you're going after is going to happen without a doubt. It's going to happen. It just will. That vision, envisioning that and like really sealing it in your mind and in your subconscious, that telling your subconscious like, hey, this is what is going to happen, then that's how you manifest. Like, that's the law of attraction right there, right?
Right. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And there's such a difference between, people think about vision boards, right? And they're like, "Oh yeah, I know how to cut things out of a magazine and, slap them on some paper and put it, up on the wall." But that isn't the way that you manifest it, right? So through the process that I've created, that I've developed, Sydney, that you've experienced, is we're visualizing your future self. We're visualizing everything that's possible for you. And then and only then do we get the magazines out. Like, you have to connect with it on that mental, spiritual, physical level before you ever go into the magazines and start putting like the pictures together.
Mm-hmm.
Because one thing that I know, and I preach this, but is God, source, universe, Buddha, whoever it is that you resonate with, whatever you call that higher power. I'm just going to go with God for today because it's kind of easy. But God does not give you an idea or a thought if she didn't think that you could do it. So, Sydney, God wouldn't have given you this concept, this idea that you can heal your body if you couldn't do it. It's like why I don't sell computers, because that's not what my purpose is. You know what I mean? Like, God didn't give me that idea, so that's not on my radar.
Mm-hmm.
So I am a firm believer in God gives you the idea and it's up to you to bring it into fruition. And we can talk more about how we do that as well. But and that's, I mean, again, like, I will just preach till, all day long. But if you have an idea on your heart and something that you think, oh my gosh, wouldn't it be great if I did insert whatever that is? Or wouldn't it be great if I could? You absolutely 100% can. And if you believe in it and if you like commit to it every single day, you absolutely can make it happen.
Yes, 100%. That's so true. And another thing that brings me to remember how I wanted to have a baby so bad. I mean, you guys, my life was completely consumed for years about having a baby. My husband and I just really wanted to start a family, and I struggled with infertility for years, as you would find out if you listen to episode 2 of this podcast. Um it was just really, really on my heart. And I came to a point after lots of pain and agony and wondering, like, God, is this going to happen for me? Of just finally realizing, like, if I want to be a mom, I'm going to be a mom in one way or another. It wasn't just put on my heart for no reason. And it was a big aha for me when I was like, you know what? God doesn't give you these big dreams and these big ideas just to have them ripped away, right? So
Mhm.
I believe, and it may not always look like you want it to look like the path to get there, but if you have this desire and this dream on your heart, it is meant for you. You just have to tap in to your inner guidance and your strength and your willpower to figure out how to get there, right? Get in alignment with who you are, get in alignment with your higher self, really set that vision for what you want, and then just daily get into alignment with what that is and who that is, and be who that person is that has what you want. That's the other key, is like be, do, have, right? Who would
Mhm.
you be if you had what you wanted? Step into that being of that person, then do the things, and then you'll have the things. Right, Sarah?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And one thing, so I'm looking at my vision board right now, and one of the things that I had on my vision board was speaking engagements. Like I wanted to be on stages, right? Well, that wasn't possible in 2020. Like that wasn't happening. The whole world shut down, as we all know. But I still have that as part of my vision. And what's really unique and interesting is last year I had more speaking engagements because of the shutdown than I ever could have imagined. And it was I was still on a stage. I mean, like I still was, you know, presenting to mass numbers of people. It just looked a little bit different. It just wasn't this woman, standing in front of this big sign with a microphone in her hand. Instead, it was me sitting behind a desk, uh video conferencing out to people. Still the same feeling, still the same, impact and level of service and amazing euphoria afterwards, but it looked different. So again, like your vision is so important. It's so important for you to cast the vision, but then also to surrender and just allow it to unfold in the way that it's meant to unfold for you. And it might not look exactly like what you have, on your vision board, but if you really like spend the time and look at it, you're going to find that it's exactly what it needed to be for you at that exact moment.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Totally.
wanted to say too, Sydney, about like the connecting with the vision board is, um, I'm a firm believer in really being intentional and looking at it every day. Because here's the trick about vision boards. So the trick with vision boards is your brain doesn't know the difference between real and make believe. It doesn't know the difference, right? Which it's exactly why when we go to the movies, we can get or when we watch a movie, I don't know if we're going to movies right now, but whatever. You can get so sucked into a movie or a TV show and you are like in it with them, right? You're feeling the same emotions. You're feeling the same fear as they're being chased, or you're crying the same tears as their hearts are breaking, or you're feeling that same euphoric excitement that they've reached their goals. Like it's because your brain doesn't know that that is something fake on a screen, that was made in Hollywood. It thinks in that moment in time that this is the actual reality that this is what's going on, which is why like so many of us, I mean, I don't know, if any of you are like Bridgerton fans, but as I was watching that series, I kept thinking like, well, are they going to get together? And like, what about this person? And what about that person? And then there's this conflict. And like, how's that going to play out? Like, it's a fake show. Like, why am I thinking about this? But it's because my brain didn't realize that it was like, yes, at the intellectual conscious level, I get that it's not real. Right. But at that subconscious level, it does there's no difference. So this is why I'm going to bring this full circle here. This is why it is so important for you to get in touch with the vision, to believe in it, and to allow yourself to tap into all five senses, to see it, to feel it, to taste it, to touch it, to smell it, right? Like to smell who you are in that vision. And then you can create that that picture of it like in your vision board. And as you connect with that every day, your brain starts to like get laser focused on, okay, this is what we're doing. This is who we are. This is what we're looking for. So it starts to filter out all the things that are not in alignment with that vision. And
Mm.
an easy way to do that is put the vision board in your bathroom. And when you're brushing your teeth, you're doing that for 2 minutes every day. Just allow yourself to get lost in daydreaming as you're brushing your teeth. Like, what would it be like to be in that vision? Like, what would I feel like? What would I be doing? Who would be with me? How amazing is it? I'm so grateful that I'm living this out, right? Do that before you, like when you start your day in the morning, and then again before you go to bed at night.
Love it. Absolutely. That reminds me of a couple things. So I'm sitting here recording this at my desk as I'm looking at those three things that I was talking about earlier in the podcast. Let me just tell you what those are. So I have this one, the big like 2 foot by 2 foot-ish Post-its that you can like post
Yeah, the
it up
giant
on your
poster board
wall. Like,
Post-its.
yeah, like the huge ones. I have one written up here on my office wall that says, goal, get one course up and running, identify my who and create that product. You guys, my course is up and running. I mean, if you would have asked me probably about a month before I put that up on my wall, if I thought I would ever, be like awesome enough to have created a course to sell out to the world, or if I would ever have had enough time or energy to do that, I would have laughed. But I started pouring myself into being around others who had done it and taking little courses on how to do it. And just one little step at a time, got me up to thinking like, yes, this is really what I want for my life. And I remember when I wrote that, I remember thinking, man, that would be so awesome if this came true. I'm not so sure I have what it takes. Like I'm sick because at the time I was really sick when I wrote it. I'm sick. I've got a baby. I'm not worthy. I'm not, no one wants to hear what I have to say. I don't know enough. I don't have enough information. Well, guess what? Those were all just my limiting beliefs getting in my way, which I have worked through between now and then. And here I am. I have an entire course. I have an entire brand. I have a podcast. I have a website. Like I have all of it. I have all the things I wanted that would get me to that goal. And that's been sitting up there for over a year now. Right. So that's just proof that you put it out there and you see it all the time. Your brain doesn't know the difference. Oh, that's what you want? Okay, cool. Psh, it's going to happen. Now, does it happen overnight? No. It's baby step, baby step, baby step. And then it's really kind of like, sitting where I am right now, it's kind of like looking back and like, how the heck did I get here? I don't even remember how I got here. Because every day I just took one small step at a time. So that's the one thing I have. The second thing I have is this little picture I drew one time. I think it was like in a full moon ceremony. When we were setting our intention and setting our vision for what we wanted to manifest. And it was, they said, draw a picture. So I drew a picture. Yeah, you were on that call, right, Sarah?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, I have a little stick figure too.
Yeah. So I drew this little stick figure person of me clicking her heels with her hands up in the air. And I have this light coming, this yellow light shining out of my kidneys. So what that means to me is that my kidneys just being lit up with light, like totally fully healed. And above my head, I have like this little crown chakra visualization. So what that means is that I'm totally connected to source. I'm totally connected to my higher self. I'm just totally in tune and in alignment. And therefore my kidneys are totally healing. And I drew all that when I was still on dialysis, when I was still in need of a kidney transplant. And here I am today, don't need any of those things. The third thing I have on my wall is my daily manifesto. Now, this is something I've created that you can actually download yourself online if you go to myinnertiger.com/manifestation. This is just a list of all of these affirmations that I found really powerful for who I really want to be and what I really want to believe about myself to get me to a place of pure like peace and full of self-confidence, just to plunge me forward in my life. I look at it every single day, and I have one right in front of me right now at my office, and I have one in front of my toilet. So that's available for you to download as well. But these are the things, the same thing as my vision board. My vision board also sits right in front of me on my desk every single day. And all of these things have come true. Not one of them hasn't. The only thing that hasn't yet is this big, beautiful house I still have on my vision board. But I am completely confident that that's coming. I have zero doubt. It's not a matter of how, it's a matter of when, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I want to point out too what you've done by setting yourself up with the placement of your manifesto, your vision board, your healed self with the light coming through your kidneys is and you creating that course, right? Your giant post-it is those are all things that are front and center for where you are spending time each and every day, because you're either walking through your office each and every day or you're sitting at that desk each and every day. And what happens there is the focus. You have unrelenting focus on those things because you have strategically placed them right in your line of sight. And what we learn from our big friend Tony Robbins is where your focus goes, your energy flows.
Mm.
So even if you don't, even if you are feeling like, gosh, I haven't really done much on, my goal to create my course, you're still doing it because again, your subconscious mind has that, and it has that in the queue, and it's thinking, even though you're not like consciously understanding what's going on with it, it still has that in its line of sight. It's in the queue and it's programming itself to make that happen, which is why, just to your point, Sydney, like you look back and you're like, I have no idea how I even got here, but all I know is I just kept taking a step and another step and another step. And lo and behold, that path, those steps all added up to me sitting in my vision right now. It has become reality.
Right. Yeah. Sarah, tell
Yes.
us about your vision board and your vision board workshop. So, Sarah, I just want to brag a little bit about her here. She has created the most beautiful, it's called Vision of You. Well, it's Vision of You, but I think it's Vision Board in a Box, or I'll
Mm-hmm.
let her tell you what exactly it's called in a second. But this is the course I took online. You can do it yourself. It doesn't have to be like at a set time. She's since created these beautiful boxes with an online program. You can do it, go at your own pace and do it at home by yourself. It's creating this masterful vision, and it's got all the tools that you need to create a vision board, like every single thing down to like the glue and the scissors, okay? The magazines, all of it. It's awesome. But what's most spectacular is the process that she leads you through for creating the vision. So when I put together this vision board with her in this program she created, it was not just me clipping out magazines. It was me getting crystal freaking clear on what it is I wanted to manifest in my life. And her process for doing that was absolutely stunning. So Sarah, I want you to talk a little bit about the box and how people can get this amazing box.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks. So the box was actually my COVID project, right? So beginning of 2020, I was doing these in-person vision workshops like crazy. I mean, I was doing them one after another after another. And in person, though, I was kind of limited, right? Because I could only, hold, a set number of people, in said venue. And I started thinking like, okay, I need to make a bigger impact here. Like, how am I going to bring this to more people? And then I was like, okay, I need to go virtual. But then I'm like, how do I make that happen? Right. So lo and behold, the world shuts down. And I'd already had a prototype for this idea, but I created a vision board in a box toolkit, and it is the Vision of You vision board in a box toolkit. And it has absolutely everything that you need to create your powerful vision. And in 2020, it was so just, divinely timed that I had these boxes created, and they got refined and refined and refined. I mean, it started out as, just a plain cardboard box with some stuff inside. And I since evolved it into I'm actually really proud of these. They're like my tiny little babies. But it's a beautifully branded box inside and out. It's classic design. It has everything that you need inside of it, like Sydney said, to create your vision. And when I say everything, I mean everything. Like, I want this to be a turnkey experience for you. I don't want you to have to question, like, well, where do I have my scissors? And do I have enough glue? Or no, I can't do this because I have to go to the store because I've got to find this exact magazine, all that stuff. I've taken all the guesswork out. And I think that that's one thing, I guess, really this actually is just coming up for me is I'm kind of like all about the all inclusive. Like, come with me and I will do all the hard work for you. And all you have to do is show up. So within these kits, I have made it simple for you through a 3-step process for you to dream, align, and design your powerful future so that you can become your true self. And inside these boxes includes not only all the supplies, I'm talking magazines, frames, scissors, glue, there's the workbook is included that goes along with an on-demand course, like Sydney said, an on-demand course that you can do in the privacy of your own home, that you can do with your best girlfriends. You can do this whenever, wherever. All you need is a computer. And you are guided start to finish on exactly how to dream and dream big, and then how to align yourself to step into that vision, into that dream. And then you get to design the powerful vision that you're going to connect with every single day. And I teach you all of these things step by step, start to finish. And these boxes are available on my website at thevisionofyou.com. It's actually visionofyou.com. And I'd love for you guys to check them out.
So yes, I absolutely agree. These boxes are incredible. So go to her website, take a look, and absolutely place an order if you feel like you're ready to create that amazing, perfect vision board for you. There's also something else on your website that people can find. Tell us more about that, Sarah.
Yeah. So if you feel like you're not ready to quite commit to, creating the vision, that's fine too. Just download, it's called Discover Your North Star. And it is a completely free download, my gift to you, of how to gain clarity on what your strengths are, what your purpose is, and where you have potential impact for your future. So it truly connects you with what your North Star is. And the reason why I called it North Star is because the North Star is what truly guides us. It's what guides us. We can always connect with the North Star. It's always there. It's always a point of reference for us. And that's what I believe your vision can be for you, is that guiding light, that guiding star that is always taking you into your full, truest potential for your life. And you can find that also at visionofyou.com.
Yeah. And tell really quick, Sarah, the story about the North Star from the Harriet Tubman story about the North Star, because I know it, but I want you to tell other people because it's so pretty. It's so cool.
Yeah. So many of us, many of us know, back when, there were, when there were slaves and when they were escaping to freedom in the Underground Railroad, Harriet Tubman was a huge, I mean, just massive force in that movement and in that, that incredible, incredible journey to freedom. And so what ended up happening is she would follow, back then, like a lot of people that were escaping slavery, they couldn't read. There weren't maps, like maps weren't created. So they just knew go north, like go north. But how do you know when you're on the right path if you don't even have a compass, right? Well, they started sharing out like follow the North Star, just follow the North Star. It's going to be, the brightest star in the sky. This is where, it's located. It's passed on, like follow the North Star. So that became their guiding light and their guiding force throughout the Underground Railroad movement of follow the North Star. The North Star is your guiding light to freedom. And that is something that Harriet Tubman talks about over and over and over. And so again, I just find it so powerful that there is this light that is always available to us, that has been available to us for centuries. And when we can tap into that and when we can connect with it, absolutely anything is possible for us. Absolutely anything.
Mic drop. That's awesome. I love that story.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that is that kind of wraps it up for me. Sarah, anything else you want to add on this awesome topic about vision?
Oh, I could go on and on about vision, but I just, I'm going to leave you with, I'm going to reiterate that God gives you a vision and an idea for a reason. And we need you. We need you. Yes, you listening to this right now to step up and live into that vision, because we need your light and we need you to shine it right now more than ever, as bright as you possibly can. And it is my mission. It's Sydney's mission. We are here to support you every step of the way. So please, please live into it. Please. And Sydney, I'm just so honored and humbled to be a part of this. And, actually, let me share this because I said at the beginning I was going to. Do you remember that day back? This was back in lockdown before you started everything, and Ryan Seacrest and Kelly Ripa were on TV, and I texted you and I was like, oh my God, Ryan Seacrest and Kelly Ripa are doing a Zoom call and they're connecting and they're interviewing this other person. And I was like, that's going to be us. We're going to be doing that someday. And like, here we are completely and totally living that out. I was like, I'm going to be I know you're going to have a podcast one day and I'm going to be on it. I'm going to be one of your first guests. And I think we have now made that reality. So
There you go.
I just, and that was something that I felt so silly sending that to you, but I had this like, and this is how simple these visions can be. I think Sydney, you and I call them downloads, but I had this download just in this moment of me walking by like, I don't even watch TV. I don't even know why I had it on. But in this moment, I had this flash, this future forward, like vision of this is what Sydney and I are going to be doing. And we absolutely are doing it. And it's that fast, it's that instantaneous, and it's that simple of a vision, again, that God is giving you, that he needs you to live it out.
Yes. And that's the other thing, is to pay close attention to everything that you're getting hit with in your intuition. Just, don't doubt it. I used to doubt everything. I used to get intuitive hits and visions and, little jolts of excitement about certain ways I wanted to live and things I wanted to have. But then I'd always just downplay it and be like, well, that's not in the cards for me. I'm not worthy of having those things. And that's bullshit. You are.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone is. And so, same with healing, like healing my body. Totally believed, part of me in the very beginning believed maybe I'm not worthy enough to heal my body. Maybe I'm not worthy enough of, achieving all the success of the people that I see that I know I, want to be like, right? My role models. And that's not true. I'm well on my way now to having all of those things. And that's not just me. I'm nothing special by any means. I'm just regular old Sydney. And so I'm just telling you, like, all of these dreams and goals that you have, go after them one step at a time. Put them in a vision board, put them up on your wall, look at them every day, and you will have them.
Absolutely. Put him, I mean, like, what do you have to lose? Like, what do you have to lose? You know what I mean? Like, try it. Try it. I mean, it has worked for Sydney. It's worked for me. I haven't talked about this today, but I mean, I am living 2 years into leaving my corporate job. I'm living the exact life that I wanted to live. And it's just like somebody pinch me because it's all happening for me. And it's all unfolding in ways that I couldn't have even imagined, like ways that I couldn't have even wrapped my head around. And
Right.
it all comes back to me having the foresight and having the confidence and the commitment to follow through on the vision, to create it and to follow through on it. And
Right.
you absolutely can do it too.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And another piece is not focusing on the how. So that's where a lot of people get screwed up, is that they put these vision boards up and they're like, yeah, of course I want that, beautiful house, that beautiful boat, or that healthy body, but I have no idea how to get there. But trust me, if you set the intention and you put it out there, you will find a way, because your subconscious doesn't know the difference between, like Sarah said, reality and not reality. It
Mhm.
just sees what you're putting in it. Whatever you feed it, it's going to know. So feed it things that are all in line with what you want and where you want to be and where you want to go.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, again, all you have to do, it's really that simple, is just pay attention to the download, create the vision, and just take one step, one small step, one tiny step. That's it.
All right, awesome. Well, thank you, Sarah. Again, thank you so much for coming on my podcast. And that's a wrap for today.
Oh,
And we
thank you
look
so much for having me, Sydney. I am just humbled and honored and so excited to have been a part of this. And thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you all for listening. Thank you for allowing me to be a part of your community.
Thank you so much, Sarah. All right, guys, we will catch you on the next episode. Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of My Inner Tiger. Before you go, I'm curious to know, how many times have you tried using affirmations and gotten zero results? I did that for years, and then I finally realized how to do it right, and that changed everything for me. And that's why I created this beautiful daily manifesto, which I'm giving to you at no cost at all. And it comes with detailed instructions on how to actually get the real change that you want. It's basically a really cute and printable list of powerful affirmations, all geared toward helping you manifest more peace and self-confidence. I mean, who doesn't want that? I have one right here in front of me on the wall in front of my desk, and then I have another one in the bathroom in front of my toilet. That way, it's a huge part of my daily life, and trust me, it makes all the difference. I am sure you will love it too, so head on over to myinnertiger.com/manifestation, or click the link in the show notes below to download your free copy. And if you loved what you heard today, please, please, please rate and review this podcast on iTunes. And finally, if you're not already, come follow me on Instagram at myinnertiger for more tips and inspiration. I can't wait to connect with you there. Now, go out there and manifest your dreams, because you are absolutely worthy of everything.